So this is Algebra 1, Semester 1. It's a third unit called Graphing Linears. Linears is another name for lines. It's the 13th lesson, Writing Equations in Slope-Intercept Form Practice. It's on creatormath.com under the Algebra 1 tab. You might have to Google creatormath.weebly.com to find the site. The instructions are copy the following problems into your composition book on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. The notes are a little bit hard to find. As noticed by the delay it takes me to get there, right? So this is the website named creatormath.weebly.com. Type that into Google. You should be able to get to this home page, hopefully. Right here it is. Any questions on your composition book, you guys, are on this home page. So scroll down until you see the words composition book. Students are always asking, what goes where? How do I figure this out, right? Follow all the directions here. Watch all the videos. Adhere to the due dates. And put everything where it belongs in the comp book. Right, it's a comprehensive guide to tell you how to set up that composition book. Right now, the notes are going to be under the tab for the class. In fact, there's four things: notes, the video lessons, the problem sets, and the vocabulary solutions here. If you're not getting 100% on the vocabulary practices, you may not know there's a PDF here with all the vocabulary words we study for the entire school year. It is downloadable to your device. It is searchable by your device. Just Google how do I search a PDF with whatever kind of device you're using. The instructions for each different type of device are a little bit different, right? So we're going to scroll down to the semester. That's the next important thing once you get to this tab. Make sure you're in the correct semester for the lesson we're doing, right? So for this lesson we're doing, it happens to be a semester 1 lesson, and this is the table of contents. This is really important, and that's why I ask you to write the entire table of contents on pages 2 through 6 of your composition book. Why? It tells you where everything goes in the composition book. Right? It gives you page numbers for every lesson, page numbers to put the notes, it gives you problem sets and the video solutions. So let's go find the unit we're in for this one. This is graphing linears. Here it is here, graphing linears. There's a lot of lessons for graphing linears. We are all the way down at, which one are we on? Number 13. So here we are here, writing equations in slope-intercept form. These are the page numbers these notes go on in your comp book. Please don't take this video's word for it, but go back and find the original table of contents on the website. At the time you're viewing this, these page numbers probably, most likely, maybe will have changed, okay? So don't take them from here. All right, here are the notes that go on these pages. Then we're going to do this problem set that comes from here, and the video solution should be tagged here, linked here, if everything goes right. So it does take me a couple times sometimes to open up the notes, but if you see it brighten up like that, where now it's clear, and you can expand it, now you know they've downloaded correctly. So this is talking about graphing with the slope-intercept form. Why is it called a slope-intercept form? Because it's y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. The m is the slope, and the b is the y-intercept. So it's called the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line, and it produces a line. And we can use, of course, desmos.com to graph these. That'll be one of the hints, and we've been encouraged by a lot of these lessons to go and type them into desmos.com and see how they graph. Slope we hopefully remember as rise over run. B is the y-intercept. So how do you graph this thing? You go to +1, go right here. And this is going backwards. This is taking the graph and producing the equation. So here are the steps. What's the y-intercept? +1. So b equals 1. What is the slope? The slope is starting at +1, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. 3 over 1 is 3. Or am I not getting this right? Here, it's right here. So I wish I had put a dot there in my notes, because it's rising 1, 2, and running 1. So the slope is 2 over 1, or 2. Okay, because 2 over 1 reduces to 2. So there it is, 2 over 1, or 2. So now we plug that into the wonderful slope-intercept equation of a line, which is y equals mx plus b. We plug in the slope of 2 and the b of 1, and we get y equals 2x plus 1. And just to go ahead and model the idea of Desmos, right? Here we go. Let's clear out this one and literally type in this quick y equals 2x plus 1. There it is. So it's passing through 1 right here. That's the y-intercept. That's the point where it passes the vertical y-axis is plus 1. And if we count the slope out, it looks like it's rising 2, 2x, 1. If this is 2, this is 1. Oh, okay. So here it is here, 1. We like this intersection. This is a half intersection over here. It's 2 units equals 1 in this case, right? 2 units is 1, 2 units is 1, 2 units is 1. So it's rising 1, 2 over 1. 2 over 1 is 2. A little bit hard to see that. I think if I changed it this way, no, that doesn't help. What if I change it this way? Here we go. That's maybe a little bit easier. Rises 1, 2, and over 1. Okay, so by changing the scale, it's going to start to add more divisions into the units to help us see more fine, get a little bit more focused. But in this case, it might not be as good for us. So anyway, those are the notes. Those go in your comp book, and we know we can put them on desmos.com as we go. Let's do the first one. Given the following graph, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Hint, start with b first as the y-intercept location, and then calculate m, the slope, and input both m and b into y equals mx+b. So they almost tell us everything about what's in the notes, except the fact that you got to know slope is rise over run. They do not put that in here, right? So let's find the y-intercept. Here it is here. So this is plus 1, and this is really hard for me to see. It looks like an intersection here. Gosh, I can't even see that on this one. Here maybe? Here. Here. It does look like it's 1, 2 over 1. So I do see 2 over 1, 2 over 1. I can map it out enough, but boy, is that really hard to see there. Okay, this is from, when you do it, it's on the screen of the computer, so it's going to be a lot higher resolution than this. All right, I apologize for my printer. It's ridiculous. So we start with plus 1 as the y-intercept. We know we have y equals mx plus b. All right, the y-intercept is the plus b. We have the y and the x in here. The plus b is plus 1. And the slope is up 2 over 1, so 2 over 1, or y equals 2 over 1 simplifies to 2x plus 1. All right. The difficulties aren't math related, they're printer related. Okay, so now we're going to map the next one. This one looks like the same plus 1, so y equals, we have an x plus a 1 here already. All we need is slope. And again, let's see if we can figure this out. Wow, I hope my next page is printed better than this. Here maybe. Here maybe. Here maybe. Okay, so what have we got? We've got up 1 over 1, 2. All right, so rise is 1, run is 2. I think it's y equals 1/2 x plus 1, and I'm confirmed by this, okay, because that's the only answer there. And fortunately, they didn't give me anything close. The only other slopes here are 1 and 1 and 1. It's not up 1 over 1, so this is my answer choice. So I guess on the one hand, they gave me a bad graphic, but on the other hand, they gave me answer choices where I really don't have too many, it's kind of hard to get misled on the answer choices because they're just kind of clear. So even looking at the answer choices, this is a negative slope. Are any of these, so remember, up and to the right is positive slope, down and to the right is a negative slope. Up and to the right is positive, up and to the left is negative. So this is a negative slope. If I don't see a negative on this slope right here, then it's out, out, out. I already know the answer. Let's just confirm it. Plus 1 makes sense. Check, check. And does it go down 2 over 1? So 1, 2 over 1. I'm thinking yes, down 1, 2 over 1. Okay, so I'm thinking that's what it is. Here, yeah, here's in between this tick mark and this tick mark. So yes, I like this and I like this. I'm good with this. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. All right, given the following graph, figure it out. All right, so another negative slope. Do I have any negatives? Oh, this is too easy. All right, but let's confirm it. There's a plus 1 here, so that's good. And does it go down 1 over 1? Down 1 over, no, down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 1, 2. Yes. down 1 over 1, 2. Yes. So I'm good with this. Slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. If it's got a negative, now instead of going up and over, we go down and over. All right? And this is our, 13th lesson on this? So you've been doing slopes in this unit for a long time now. Just to review on that. Well, this one goes right through the center, so it's not anything with a plus 1. It's not y equals 1. Y equals 1 is a horizontal line like this at y equals 1. That's y equals 1. So it's got to be this one. All right, and the slope here is 1. A slope, and this does confuse students. If you have y equals x, they're like, wait, where's the mx plus b, right? Where is all this, mx plus b? Well, this has to be 0, which it is. It's going through 0. And this has to be 1. So there's just a 1 times x. You don't show it. You just say y equals x. So that's what's so confusing for students is things are being dropped out of the basic equation, this, the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. And now their brain is like, well, I don't see these things, so it doesn't look familiar to me. All right, and I get it. I've been through it too. But what's happening in slope of 1 is rise 1, run 1. It's equal to 1 over 1, which is rise over run. And it's going up to the right at 45-degree angle. That's the slope of 1. Okay, this one's going through 1, so I better see a plus 1. I don't see it here. I don't see it here. I see it here and here. But notice this has a negative slope. A negative slope is like that, you guys, down to the right. This is going up to the right. So this one's out. I already know the answer is this one. And it looks like a slope of 1 here. Does it rise 1 and run 1? Yes. Rise 1, run 1. Yes. Rise 1, run 1. Yes. That's 1 over 1 or 1. And so you just put x there because we don't show 1. Remember, there's 3 invisible 1s. There's a 1 times an x raised to the 1 power over 1. We don't show all these. We just write x. We don't show the 3 invisible 1s. It's too much work. Math people love notation. They love to just make it simpler by not showing things, which for a new student makes it more complicated. Okay, so minus 1. Here's a minus 1. This doesn't have a minus 1. This doesn't have a minus 1. This one has. I know it's this already. Does it have a slope of 1? Rise 1, run 1. Yes. Rise 1, run 1. Yes. Okay. Slope of 1 right there, which is 1 over 1, rise over run. It's a tongue twister. Okay. Oh, here's my line here. Hard to see, but this is what we already talked about. This is y equals 1. And just prove it to yourself. Go to your Desmos. Keep it right by you. Just keep typing these in as you go. Y equals 1. Bing! There it is right there, running through number 1. And it's a flat line. And guess what it doesn't have? Just think about this. mx plus b, right? It doesn't have a slope. You know why? Because slope equals 0 here. 0 times x means no x. This goes to 0. You're left with y just equals b. And in this case, the intercept of the y-axis is 1. So y equals 1. Sometimes the simpler ones are harder for students to grasp because it doesn't fit the pattern. It starts to fall outside of the pattern. Makes your brain think more. All right, what do we do? Graph this? Well, it's passing through -2 right here, right? So it's got to be a -2. Ah, now they're getting smart. Look, 3 of them with -2, but that's out. All right, what's the slope? So is it 2, is it 1/2, or -2? This is a positive slope, so it's not negative. Out. See the negative on the slope there I just crossed out? Is it 2 or 1/2? So remember, rise over run, if it's 2, is going to be 2 over 1. If I start here, do I go 1, 2, 1? Yep, this one. It's not 1/2. That would be rise 1, run 2. That would be like a line like this. Okay, and it's not. It's this one. I think one more to do. So this lesson, as you can tell, is starting with the graph and going back to the equation. We've done others where we started with the equation and went to the graph. Well, this one passes through 3, so this one's out because it's not -3, but look, there's 3 with 3. Now they're finally getting a little bit tougher in their answer choices. Is it a positive slope? No. See how it's up to the left or down to the right? So this is a negative slope, so this one's out because it's positive. So is it a 3 slope or a 1/3? 1/3 would be down 1 over 1, 2, 3 would be here. No, it's not that. It's 3, it's a -3 where it's down 3 over 1. Start here, go down 1, 2, 3, go over 1. This guy. Alright, so make sure you're matching up the title of this video with the problem set you're doing, otherwise it will not make much sense. It's Algebra 1, Semester 1. It's the third unit called Graphing Linears, and it's the 13th lesson called Writing Equations in Slope-Intercept Form Practice. It's on creatormath.com, and it's under the Algebra 1 tab. Hope this helps.